Hello,
Yes.
planet watchers. Welcome to Aquarius, the age of Aquarius, which it sounds like is not going to be that much fun. Hi, Mary Jane.
Well, hello, Christy, and hello, all you planet watchers out there. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, so it sounds like we've got a lot to talk about with Aquarius.
Well, we certainly do this here. I've seen better. I'm not really too happy with this month, to tell you the truth. We've got
Mhm.
the big picture is still holding on, and that I've been thinking about a lot. We've still got the heavy planets that are in very nice composition. They're supposed to be there showing us how to act and how to perform and what to do in this life. However, I'm having second thoughts about this Saturn Neptune conjunction that's been going on all this time in Pisces. Saturn represents authority, the ultimate rules that we're supposed to be following, the big picture, the big civilization. However, awash here with Neptune in Pisces, I've been thinking that there's been a total disruption, a disintegration of what the Saturnian rules and regulations are supposed to be doing for us. I can't think of another good reason why these last 6 months, when this pattern has been holding, that we haven't seen more responsibility being taken, more help being given, more good sense being practiced, and a forward moving goings on in society. Why? Because other things that Pluto down here, which is in the period of Aquarius since a while now, and is going to be very important this month, is refusing to cooperate. This Pluto here, and as the fast planets come up here through this month of Aquarius, we're going to just see Pluto taking on, giving more power, giving more sense of risk taking and overwhelmingly powerful behavior going forward. And this seems to outdo any good sense that we should be seeing in what's otherwise a very nice pattern in the sky. Makes me very angry. And actually, we're supposed to be seeing through the month, especially first of all, from the 19th of February on, as this period of Aquarius gets started, we have some very nice ideas of relief, of helping people who are struggling. I'm thinking a lot about refugee movements. We should be seeing a lot of relief. Also, too, I'm thinking of foreign residents in foreign countries, including the US. But there's an undergoing blockage to this relief that is going to be costly to foreign residents, to this undergoing blockage from belligerent factions. And that's what it comes down to. It's turning off and refusal of
Huh.
any good movements. And this is what's so terrible in this place now. I've got to say, especially this refusal to understand foreign residents, to understand refugees, to understand people coming into us.
Mm.
It's becoming a worldwide tendency. We're seeing governments all over the place that are now saying, we don't need anybody close to us anymore. Everybody that's foreign should be away. And this is becoming a general tendency.
That's what concerns me is that, here in the United States, we've got this very conservative swing of the pendulum, but that seems to be echoed throughout the world.
Yes, it's getting to be crazy. This notion of persecution is heightened. Actually, we're getting more and more accent on this type of behavior, this power taking until the 2nd of February. But that's an incredible incentive. That's an incredible inertia that's been put into place. There are some dates here that are important in making noise, in fighting back, in showing the outcry of the public. Is going to be especially important, and I think especially noisy, I hope, on the 26th of January, on the 31st of January, and on the 2nd of February. Now, I'm getting in a mood to say that Jupiter, who represents law and order after all, and the legal possibilities in here, has been on vacation all this time. and is just not performing properly right now. However, on these dates, there's going to be, again, the 26th January, the 31st, and the 2nd of February. This is at the period when the moon is going to be knocking on the shoulder of Jupiter, saying, look, there are very bad things going on. It's time for the public to take notice. It's time for lawmakers and law and order people to take notice and put some brakes on this outlandish, overwhelming power grab.
Right. My God, we're Americans. Americans don't do well with power grabs and tyrants. I mean, we're kind of the ones used to doing it, but people don't put up with that.
No, really not, really not. And with that in mind, I'm thinking that some of this, on quite another esoteric level, is sort of a karmic revolution. We're seeing some payback. We're seeing some payback in the American shadow personality. We're seeing that other side. Yes, we've been out throwing bombs and doing all kinds of things to other people, but all of a sudden, this thinking is coming home. And there's a sort of a karmic cycle involved that says now we're going to see a local takeover. We're going to see these same tyrants trying to take over locally. And we just can't. We just can't.
No.
There's a huge growth through the period, especially the beginning period, until about the 8th of February, actually, this month. There's a serious growth of these radical power-taking factions, the growth of local armies. This is virtually a new army that's being involved, the Praetorian Guard, that's happening again in a lot of countries. And this is going on until the 8th of February. I don't like the first part of this period at all. However, at the same time that Aquarius is ruled, after all, by Saturn and by Uranus, both of these planets are tied up with Neptune. The confusion and maybe the illusion and the idealism still remains and is still seeking correction in the middle of all this, which is what makes me think that some movements of Jupiterian justice can be finally more alive, more present, getting help from the moon through the 4th of February, the 8th of February. And will also receive help from Mercury. Now, this is lawyers and just purely lawsuits being launched with the help of Mercury in the 11th to the 21st of February. So we're getting in a place where we can maybe use real judicial implements to put a stop to this anarchy and these highly illegal procedures.
You're absolutely right. It does feel a lot like anarchy, along with totalitarianism across the world and fascism across the world. But when people are not putting up with it and when people are saying no, then yeah, that is kind of like anarchy, which is, I don't know, not such a bad thing on the way to something better. This is my opinion.
Got to say, and this is purely my opinion too, it doesn't have a great deal to do with astrological neutrality that I have kind of gone by the wayside. But anyway, I heard a very interesting political speaker here in France, I should say, not in Switzerland, but in France. A fellow who said, no, anarchy is not the right word. There is a program. There's a very evil program that is in place and is being implemented. So we can't really talk about anarchy. We can talk about tyranny.
Yeah. Well, any way you slice it, not great for anybody. Now, and you said there is some good news though. There are some positive movements.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Jupiter's now, as I said, it's in retrograde, it's in Cancer, doing a fine job on marriages and divorces and things like that going on, maybe in families. However, it's still in a really wishy-washy position with these fast planets coming into Aquarius. Very wishy-washy, but it gets better. I think we'll have more impetus coming from the judicial systems in place, the idea of justice in general. Again, in the second part of Aquarius from the 4th of February on. We have to hope so. It should be indicated and underlined by a public display of interest. It's time for the public. These movements of the moon I was talking about that are going to be helping out Jupiter. But the moon indicates mass movements. And it's important for people, just us, everybody, who's
We
interested,
yeah,
to get out there and say no, and say no.
right. We the people.
We the people. We have to come back to people, don't we? All these people. And the personal picture is somewhat similar through this month. Aquarians in general, people born with an important sun or rising sign in Aquarius, particularly, are going to be taking on strength and desire for change also, but a lot of personal desire to be out taking risks, to be out going against the rules, taking on ego trips, things that they want to do for their personal aggrandizement. Self-justification, very important. These are people, there are others, the air signs are going to profit as well. That is to say, the Geminis, the Libras are again taking advantage of this personal drive, this personal aggrandizement. It will be up to the rest of us to be vigilant, to blow whistles when necessary, to call a halt, especially in your personal reactions, your personal interactions, to say, look, your freedom ends where my freedom begins.
Right.
And to be able to say no, to be able to say halt when you see outlandish behavior, especially against other persons, against other institutions, other
And other
convictions.
organizations, yeah, other beliefs,
Exactly.
other ideologies.
Precisely, precisely.
Right. Because there's not just one ideology, there's not just one belief system, and
Course not.
all must be able to express it,
For sure.
even the ones that we disagree with. So, but like you said, your freedoms end where mine begin, right? So your
Exactly.
ideology ends where it affects mine, and not in a way of, well, that goes up against my beliefs, so I'm against it. No, it's like, does it personally affect me? Anyway, I do not intend to get on a soapbox here. I mean, we're,
No,
I mean, somewhat neutral
well,
with
that's the plan.
astrology. That's the plan, at least, right? So, but
It's hard.
it is hard, and I think it is helpful to know what the energies of the planets are doing with us and to us and for us, so that we can maximize them and
Yes.
have an idea of what to expect, what days are going to be particularly hard, what days are going to be particularly easy.
Exactly. I just got one other, what is finally a personal note and can touch on a lot of people. Venus and Mars, our friends Venus and Mars, are in pretty tight conjunction all month, way up until the 10th of February in any case. And they are both going to be square to Uranus, which is the ruling planet, after all, of Aquarius. Now, what's involved here? First of all, the connection Venus-Mars is very potent in Aquarius. Whenever they're traveling together, they tend to hang out very closely. However, in Aquarius, the accent is on libertinism. It's on new freedoms, new sense of adventure. Let's keep the games going, let's keep the excitement level high. And this can take us all into, well, fairly colorful sexual run-ins, first of all. And there are some particularly, I want to say, risky dates here that I think are important, where the moon is getting involved. First of all, on the 25th of January.
Okay.
On the 1st of February, also on the 8th of February, When the moon is involved, we're going to see an augmentation of predatory behavior, of me first behavior, a very selfish attitude toward sexual engagement, romantic engagement in general. And so you may or may not want to take too seriously things that you're saying or things that you're hearing during these particularly rude contexts.
Mm.
So much for Venus and Mars. But they're always interesting whenever they're in such close contact.
Right, right, right. You know, I love the app CoStar. I really do. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
social media with astrology. And the overview for 2026 said that I think it was Jupiter and Neptune finally kiss. And
Yeah.
and that people are going to be both on their best and at their worst, like so crazy and amazing at the same time. So it
Uh-huh.
seems like that's a lot for 2026, and already it's starting off pretty good.
Yes, indeed. We're going to see a more correct, interesting, maybe positive approach Jupiter and Uranus in the spring, in late spring, and in the summer, especially.
Hmm.
But until then, Jupiter, as I said, is not very exciting and not very helpful, I must say. Jupiter, that's in charge of legalization, and justice, and also strength, exaggeration, growth. This is all Jupiter material, positive ideologies, idealism in general, and think big. So, yes, with the spring and with warmer weather, Jupiter and Uranus can do some very interesting, I think, nice things together. We'll see.
Oh, well, we will see. Now, of course, as we always say, this is a global report. This is very surface level. Each individual is going to be affected by this differently depending on where their planet, their asteroids are.
Right,
This is going to
right.
affect everybody in different ways. So, what's the best way to know how it's going to affect you? Ah,
Come and see me. Come and see
yeah.
me. You have to have a birth chart in hand. You need to see where your strengths and weaknesses lie and how these planetary movements are going to act for or against them. Everybody's different in here, and everybody's got a good day and a bad day. So if when you learn to use them, the world is your oyster.
Right. I agree. So, to do that, find your birth certificate because you're going to need where you were born, what city and state, country, and also what time. So you will need your birth certificate to know these things. And then make
Right.
an appointment at radiatewellnesscommunity.com/appointment. Give Mary Jane at least a week, and then you'll need to meet on Zoom. All right.
Right. This gives
Right.
me time to draw up your chart, which happens pretty fast. But studying your chart, getting ready to meet you eye to eye, takes a little longer. So, yes, give me time to give you time.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Fantastic. Okay. So we'll see each other again in, let's see, after Aquarius. Don't tell me, don't tell me, don't tell me. Pisces.
Good. You got it.
All
Yep.
right.
Yep. The end of the winter, finally.
End of the winter. And we will have some updates on how this particular season has gone.
Yes. Yeah.
So we'll know more.
Hang in
Right.
there. Fight the good fight.
Yes.
Be comprehensive. Be empathic. Be
Mhm.
understanding with the people. The whole trip here is to live and let live. That, I think, is my personal mantra. And everybody should be living and letting live in the best possible way.
Best possible way. Listen to each other, see each other, seek to understand each other. We really all want the same things. So
I think
be
so.
safe, everybody. All right. Thank you, Mary Jane.
Very welcome. See you next time.
See you next time.